got big eyes. Let me stop. I used to have a complex about my big eyes.
You are so.
I did. People don't believe me, but I used to have a complex.
All right. So we are going on Change Radio with Rhonda. And so I need to make sure that we have everything working the way that it should be working.
Look like you're doing a great job.
But we're gonna find out.
Okay. I'm gonna do this too then. I am a shy person, I really am.
Well, that's it.
I'm gonna go and do this. I really am a shy person.
I can't tell.
But I gotta get you.
Elation Radio.
That's the funny thing. He uses. You see how Moses was? He was a shy person with a stomach problem. He uses crazy people like
not crazy people.
Not crazy, but people
who have issues with themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know that.
I'm a really shy person. I really am. People don't believe me, but I really am. My name is Kimmy Kim, and I am shy. I'm gonna say,
is that your admission? My name is Kimmy Kim, and I am shy. All right, let's see if I get the intro playing. Hello, everyone. This is Rhonda with Change Radio with Rhonda. My special guest today is Miss Kimmy Kim of Elation Radio and Elation Magazine. So today we do not have a specific topic, but we are going to talk about things that matter. Here on Change Radio, we are coming to bring you an Edgy Jam party for your mind. All right, so we're going to get into it.
At 4 p.m. Central
Standard
Time on the Ferguson, USA.
I'm not even gonna do that. It's breaking my nerve. You can't break your nerve.
We live.
We are live.
We're live on Facebook. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Facebook, we are on Change Radio, we are on YouTube, and we are on Zoom. We are on.
Oh, you got the YouTube now?
We are on.
Dang, girl, you just doing it.
All right, so let's see. Get this
going. Hello. This is Rhonda. Support my sister. She's amazing.
Thank you.
You are.
I just put the whole thing on.
I need one of those. I have one. Not as strong as that, but I need one of those.
Okay, Ms. Kim.
Yes, honey.
So we got the acronym going today for C.H.R.I.S.T. I hope everyone can hear us. If there's anyone listening, let me know that you can hear us, okay? I hear me. Say something in your mic.
Hello.
I think I can hear you in your mic, yes.
How can you hear?
Because you can't hear?
Oh, well, you know. I'm just curious. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm kind of goofy like that.
I'm looking at all that buttons, push, whatever. So anyway.
Besides, it's moving. See. Yeah. Testing.
Yes, there you go. I think I'm going to have that up a little too loud. So the green lights are all on. So we are on. Hello to everyone who's on YouTube, who may be watching, and all of our Zoom people, Elation Radio. Hello. And hello, Facebook.
You got Facebook, YouTube.
Hey,
you probably have what? Instagram, huh?
You know what? I did Instagram last week. That was fun. I don't have enough gadgets to do Instagram too. Speaking of which,
she got Instagram. She got Periscope.
No, I have got Periscope. But speaking of which, let me give my announcements really quick before we get started. So I am announcing the books that I have available for sale that are on hand. You do not have to order. So I have Cultivating the It Factor. I was one of the authors in this book. My chapter is on tenacity. This book is available for $15. Everybody see the book. That's awful dark. Probably because of see the book. See the book available for $15. And I have Execute for Your Vision and Monetize is available. This copy here has a different copy other than the ones you would get if you order it online. This was like a first one. So these are only $5. I have a handful of these left. So because the cover has changed, so these are only $5. And then I have the She.R.I.S.T. It's just was co-authored with Roberto Lido. So this book is $15 as well. I have a few of those on hand as well. The She.R.I.S.T. So yes. And I want to let everyone know that I will be speaking at the Help, Hope, and Healing Weekend, November 9th through 11th. I have a book feature coming up on the Wild Podcast for the Change Your Mind, Change Your Life book. And I will be a guest for Successful Women on W4WN Radio, Monday, December 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Dr. Madeline Lewis. So if you are available to tune in for the podcast, and more information will be coming up on each of these things, please tune in and support her and support me as well.
Amen.
Right?
Woo-hoo!
Right?
Let's support each other.
Let's support each other.
Let's support each other.
You gotta do
No
it.
hate.
You know what? One thing, and that had been before we get into the acronym, is competing. Has been on my mind a lot because I have someone that always feels like it's necessary to compete with me, and I don't do that.
You know why?
No, why?
Insecurity. Anytime someone wants to try to outdo you instead of edifying you, they have a problem with themselves. That's why I don't do award shows. I honor people.
Okay.
And that's why Elation Honors is named Elation Honors, not Elation Award Show, because we honor people. But when people have to outdo you, they're insecure.
It gets frustrating though, because
Yeah.
it's obvious to me, and I don't.
And they
like
could be your hater too. You gotta have haters.
Gotta have haters.
You gotta have haters.
I don't even like that word.
But it is what it is. Jesus had the major hater do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But I guess if I don't have somebody hating, I'm not doing nothing, huh?
If you got everybody liking you, you have to ask yourself, am I really milky or am I the meat believer? Am I milky? Am I lukewarm? Or am I just, not growing? Because if you don't have anyone who is not against you,
Right.
because Jesus said it in his word that they're going to hate you too. It's in John. It's throughout the Bible. Take up your cross. Submit yourself. Take up your cross. Follow me. You're going to have haters. You got to have haters.
Okay. I have to be assured.
You got to pray
that-
for them. Just pray for them.
Oh, definitely
That's
that.
all.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what that's about, but I know I don't like it. I don't,
Yeah.
especially women to women. We should not be feeling like we have to compete with one another.
That's it.
If we took the time to help each other, instead of competing, to collaborate, then we would, like us right now. You have your own radio talk show and you're here. You know what I'm saying?
I love radio. I love what you're doing. I stand for women empowerment. I stand for the Christian, the body of Christ, the believers. Jesus had 12 disciples for a reason.
That's right. That's right. Well, everybody needs some help.
Everybody needs help. But God didn't need help. But he was just demonstrating
Correct.
the factor that we need each other.
All right. We do need each other.
I do need you. All right. I used to think, well, I don't need nobody. God had to take me out of that situation. Oh, yes, you do. And so I can humbly say we all need each other.
Yes.
Like, Hezekiah Walker says, I need you, you need me.
Yes. I love that song too.
It's so
I
true.
love that song. So can I see you? They can't see you. There you are.
Oh,
There you are. I just get Miss Kimmy on camera.
oh, so sweet.
All right, so I came up with the acronym. The acronym is CHRIST,
Okay.
but the C stands for change. The H is hindrances. The R is relationship. The I is involvement. The S is salvation. And then the T is test.
Powerful.
Christ. So when I was on the way here, then I was like, Lord, I don't have a specific topic today. My guest that was originally supposed to be here had something come up, so which is fine. So I was like, Well, then I was thinking, you can involve, or not even necessarily involve, but everything that you do, no matter what it is, should kind of pivot off your relationship with God. Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
I agree.
I came up with this acronym because I think it's cool And I think it's important, you know what I'm saying, that because some people think that you separate, and I used to think that, well, this is separated for my relationship with God, my walk, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But the walk
is your lifestyle.
You hear me? And as I'm giving, I don't know what it is. God is working on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I did tell him, honey, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Right. So anyway, so let's get into it, Miss Kimmy. So you're talking about change.
Yes.
Like, okay, so for me, people evolve all the time.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, because some people are scared of change, especially when the change is coming for them to be more like Christ. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Because there are some things that you give up. Let's understand this. If you haven't already done it, you know what I mean? And it could be several things. Because everybody's walk is different. Yes. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but it's a good thing.
Yes.
And I don't think people should be afraid. I think we should learn to embrace the change that God wants for us.
Yes. And that's why it's important to have mentors, those who have gone through the similar situation of being, it's very fearful if you never been in the church and don't know what church really means. I mean, when you're giving your life over to Christ, what is it? What mm-hmm. does it look like? If you don't know, that's why it's important to get, someone. It doesn't have to be based on age. It's based on how long they've been with the Lord. Because you could learn from a 5-year-old who's been in the Lord all his life, or learn from a 90-year-old who's just been in the Lord all her life as well. And I really believe when you get yourself a mentor, because that's why God called us to love one another. When we love one another, we can learn from each other. We can be there from each other. And like you said, it's not about competition. It's about just collaborating, coming together, loving on each other. Mm-hmm. So when you love someone, and when you love someone as you love yourself, mm-hmm. you want them to do well as well.
Yes, you do. Yes. Absolutely. So change is good.
Yes.
You should not be afraid of change. No. Although, we can, pull back and fight it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's part of the learning process.
Yeah. Because, you won't even have the same friends, to be honest.
Your phone will stop ringing.
Yeah.
My phone used to ring all the time because I was part of the club.
Right.
Club, girl, what are we doing Friday? Let's go out. Okay. You want to the strip joint? Yeah, girl. Let's go get But when you change your life, hey, I don't hear nobody calling. But that is an indication that people know your lifestyle. In a way, is a confirmation that you have changed when people don't call you anymore.
So people think that when you are in Christ or you're living for Christ and you're more for Christ, that you're boring.
Oh no!
They think you're boring.
I'm having fun, girl. I still listen to music. I got hip hop, Christ swag, gospel music. I still listen to movies. I still watch football. It's how you do it. It's perspective. Mm-hmm. It's in the perspective. It's where you're not overindulging so that doesn't become your idol. God wants us to enjoy his earth. He invented everything. He owns everything. He wants us to enjoy ourselves. So when you do understand that, I'm having the best time in my life. Yeah. Because I have peace. I have joy. Yeah. That's not based on people, places, or things. Yeah. You can't take my salvation away from me. It's gone. It's done. Because Jesus died for me. Right. So you can't hurt me. You may try to kill this flesh, but guess what? I'm going to be with the Lord. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I know. Where are you going?
Huh. I know.
I'm talking about people.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You're talking about it in general.
People call us boring.
Right.
We're not boring. No, I love to read. I love poetry. Right. I still read books outside of the Bible because you can still learn. It's what you ponder on. It's what you filter into your mind. I believe in positivity. Mm-hmm. I believe in thinking positive. I don't do the gossip. So I've never been a click person.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either.
I've never been a click person. So, that's why I never really had a lot of girlfriends. Because I just never been a gossip off someone, putting someone else down so that I can feel better. That just never, seemed right to me. So when you understand who you are and who you are in Christ, I'm so sorry.
You're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
You got
You got that. When you understand who you are and who you are in Christ, it doesn't matter
right.
what people say, because I'm having the best time of my life.
I like that. I like that. So we're not boring. We just have a different kind of fun.
Oh yes,
A different kind of fun.
and I still drink my wine too.
We talked about that. I haven't had it in a couple of weeks, but
I drink my
it's
wine.
about due. About due for my
Moderation.
yeah, my Moscato. I like my
I like that pink one.
The pink Moscato. I like the pink Moscato. Have you been to Aldi's? Because let me tell you something. Aldi's got the best Moscato baby for $3.99 in the bottle.
Okay, that's right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I was right.
I think it's Winky Owl, something.
Okay.
Got a little owl on the bottle. It's very good for $3.99. I'm telling you. And it will sell out. I get mad when I go on Aldi's. They don't have my
Okay, all these. I need that $3.99. One thing I like about the Bible, he said wine is good.
Mm-hmm.
He said don't get drunk.
Don't get drunk.
He didn't say don't drink wine. Those are the Pharisees and the Sadducees who are sad and they believe in the law, so they allow people to think that there are restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
God is not placed in a box. You just put him 1st
Mm-hmm.
and love others, and everything else will fall into the prospective places.
Now let me get this opinion from you. Now, while we're talking about change, and the law. Because years ago, way back when, they did not believe that women would be pastors or ministers, whatnot, women belonging in the pulpit. So what do you say about that now today? Because you know we have women pastors, we got the awesome Joyce Myers, we got so many, too many to name.
Yes.
So what is your thought on that? Because there are some people who still think that is not, yeah. So what you think about that?
I used to be that way.
Okay.
Until God opened my mind. Because when you're taught in the traditional style of believing and you realize that is not really God. God can use anyone, but I believe that a woman still have their prospective places. But a woman can be a pastor of a church,
Mm-hmm.
and that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I still believe that she still must be submissive to her husband.
Correct.
But at the same time, he can use anybody. Who was the first person that Jesus saw? A woman named Mary Magdalene, and she had 7 spirits. So he was still in the business of healing when he was returning, to his disciples.
Mm-hmm.
So in the midst of all of that, I used to be that way, and people use that First Timothy that women's supposed to be silent. That is all used into different perspectives. It was that time of that season when they were talking about something else that we think that when we're in the church that women's supposed to be submissive and quiet, but no, God used women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mary. Before he was giving up his life, because he didn't pass, he gave up his life.
Yes.
She was kneeling at his feet, pouring out her hair and giving the finest perfume.
Yeah.
She was giving him glory.
Yeah.
So he has always used women, and unfortunately, you do have these egotistical pastors who are men, not all, that thinks that a woman perspective in the church should be under a man. But I really believe God can use anyone in leadership.
I like that.
Yes.
Because I believe the same thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I do remember the pastor when I was a little girl. That's one of the things that he said, that women were not meant to be pastors. You know what I'm saying?
That's how we
Now he would allow a woman to speak in the church, but she could not be in the pulpit. You know what I mean? So all of that. So
God is not concerned about that.
Opinion.
That's what I'm saying. God's not going to be concerned about that. He's going to be woman, do you know who I am? He's not going to be like, so they didn't let you preach in the pulpit. So that's what we still have to really be respectful and mindful of the leadership of that church.
You do.
You have to still be respectful.
Right.
If that person doesn't believe that, and then you go to another church. But I still don't believe making a big, ordeal or making a disagreement between the pastor or the shepherd of the church. If they don't believe in that, you go to another church.
Yeah, that would, if you think you've been called to the ministry, then obviously that would not be your church for you. Correct. Now, another thing while we're on the topic of change, I am borrowing Dr. Renee Sunday. Now, first of all, I give vision board classes, and I always encourage people.
I need a vision board.
You need a vision board? Good, we should do one. Yes.
I'm just trying to
think. I love vision boards. They're very important. And even if you don't do a vision board in itself, you should always have your vision and goals written down so they're visual,
I
right?
just want pictures.
You want pictures? Yes.
Yes.
So your vision goals written down along with some affirmations. So Dr. Renee Sunday, I saw she had a post on Instagram. It might have been LinkedIn. I follow her everywhere, but one of her social media pages that said, when you write down your goals, put the Bible verse right next to it. I have never done that. I'm going to do that.
Now I do make goals that is perspective to the Bible, but I don't write the scriptures down. But I make sure it's in the Bible. Mm-hmm.
Because along with your goals, when you read them every day, it's supposed to manifest in your mind, and imagine adding the word to that.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, stop.
I could do all things through Christ. who
Yes.
gives me strength. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. So Dr. Renee Sunday,
I like that.
I'm going to borrow that
I like
idea.
I might do that too more so my brain. But I love the Bible scriptures because that's power in the word
Thank you. Yes, it is.
and prayer.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I might implement that with my class too.
Yes.
My vision board class. I put a scripture on each one of my pictures. Girl, stop.
Yes. Yes.
You heard
Because
me?
the devil will definitely be mad now. Oh, she thinks she holding that. All right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can't touch me because I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. My big brother got me. So yeah.
All right, so let's talk about hindrances. We know in our walk, in our everyday walk, we have a hindrance. Now, let me go back to say that when you are walking the walk with Christ, or whatever, you're not going to be perfect.
No, never.
You're not going to be perfect.
Never.
There's no perfect people here.
Never.
There are no perfect people anywhere.
Never.
That just does
Never.
not. That
Never.
does not exist.
Never perfect.
Right? But what we want everyone to know is that you can be hindered,
Yes.
right? But you need to recognize, discern when it's happening to you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because you and I were talking off air, and we was talking about relationships that can hinder your walk because they're not, God didn't put you together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or if, and especially if there's a lot of friction,
And
or
it's not
discord,
force.
yeah,
Force. That's
yeah.
not God. That's not God.
Then, and I think that's one of the key ways that you know.
Yes.
You know, so if you're arguing a lot and you're not getting along with that person, you're generally not happy with that person. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you, I know I'm speaking for what I know. Okay,
Yes.
I'm not just telling you a story. I'm talking about what I
Talkers
know.
And also,
Alright.
when a person mentions to you, you go to church too much. Ouch. That's a turn on.
It really is a turn on.
So
What's too much?
How can you have too much of God? How do you have too much of God?
I need to go more often. Let me say that.
And I only go on Sunday and Wednesday. So
Just cut it out.
Yeah.
That's too much.
it's too much.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you have to watch out who your partners are. And when you see something like that, like you said, that is a hindrance. It's
Yeah.
not friction. I love the word. I want to get the word.
Now, in some cases, these relationships will make you go to church. You hear me? You be like, I need some Jesus.
I need some word today. Yeah.
Girl, let me get some. Yeah. But yeah, so that's a good point. And then, you know, always watch your words. Your words are powerful beyond meaning.
I was
I'm
in
saying?
domestic violence. Yes. I was in a verbal abuse, no physical. 'Cause
Mhm.
I'll get you back. But you know, I wasn't taught that, verbal abuse, was real until I experienced it.
Okay.
So words are powerful.
Yes, they are. It will crush your spirit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It really can. And they stay with you so long.
Yes.
You can remember what a person says to you and about you for a long time.
It's like a walking memory.
Yes.
Like memorial, more so. You're like,
Yes.
wow. But you still have to forgive them.
You do. That
So
you
move
do.
on. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the forgiveness for you is not for them.
Exactly.
Yes, forgiveness. That was my word a few weeks ago on the show. Forgiveness. Yes. And doesn't mean that forgiveness is easy, but it's just telling you that it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? There's really no choice about it.
That's true. And one of my hindrances I want to contest.
Mhm.
We tend to blame others, but it was really me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you do things and you don't pray and you just do them.
Mm-hmm.
That's your hindrance. Because
Okay.
I didn't get the wisdom. You know, we like just anything, but it could just be anything. But I always pray before you make a decision. It could be something simple as moving to another city or should I marry this person?
Mm-hmm.
Because God will give you the revelation of, He will reveal that answer to you. But it's only when we take things and take them to the point where God is not in that picture. So I made a lot of bad decisions. That was my hindrance.
Yeah, I think we all have
Yes.
been there and done that.
So I must blame myself most of the part for the hindrance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta keep it transparent.
You do. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I made those decisions. No one put a gun to my head and say do these things. So
And that's a real grown up thing to do is when you say, hey, you messed that up for you.
I did that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not if you hadn't and if it wasn't my mama, whoever, right? Because when you get to be an adult,
me, Laura, standing in the need of prayer.
when you get to be an adult, it's very important that you take your own crap.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for your own crap.
I made some interesting decisions.
Yes. So, relationship. When did you confess your relationship? Not really confess your relationship, but confess your to be with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Turn your life over to the Lord. How old were you?
12. And I felt the presence of the Lord on me at 12. I didn't know what that was. You know,
Okay.
you see people in the church jumping up and down. It's like, I don't know what that means, God, but I felt him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't understand it. I didn't cultivate it. But I've been in church all my life. Got saved at 12. But when I went for college, I became a prodigal daughter. So I had to do my own thing in the ATL. I grew up all right now in the ATL. So I get my club on. So with that being said, I was a lukewarm believer. I would still go to church on Sunday and Wednesday, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday be at the club. So my thing is, you don't
Been
grow.
there, done that.
Yes. So Pastor Jones, I did do both. Sorry. But my point is, I wasn't growing. I was a lukewarm believer. You know, you just in God, it makes him sick when you're a believer. That is lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
You hot or cold. So I became sold out in 1998. So that's when I can truly say I was rebirthed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was renewed. I came back home to my Father. And it's nothing like coming home to God.
Okay.
And what a time it's been since 98. It's been a great time. Have I did all the right things? No. But we are not sinless, but we're living to be sinless.
Okay. That's right. You're absolutely right. I like
so
that.
I am sinning less,
Sinning
not
less.
sinless.
Right. Right.
So I can truly say, God still got those thorns, but I can truly say it's the Lord, not me.
I know. Now, when I was first joined church and got baptized, I was 9, but it was by accident. Wait a minute. I got to tell the story.
Okay, tell the
It
story.
was by accident because I'm a twin. So my sister wanted to go up. You know, in Baptist church, you go up. Yes. She gonna kill me because she said that. Hey, every time somebody say that, you didn't tell nobody you got a twin. I have a twin world. Her name is Yolanda. She was here last week. Was it last week? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We had girls out.
Okay.
Yes, she off the chain. That's my baby. So she wanted to go up. You know how you go up and stand in front of the church and say, I believe in Jesus, and so you want to be baptized. So she wanted to do that, but she didn't want to go up by herself. So I called myself. All I was doing at that time, I was just walking up with her. I made, not a mistake, but I sat down on the bench next to her. So they thought that I wanted to. What are you going to say? No, I don't. I mean, I'm not. No, I did it. But when I became an adult and I was a member of what was then St. Louis Christian Center, which is now Grow to Go Christian Center under Alfred D. Harvey. That's my pastor. Don't talk about the pastor. Hey, love my pastor.
Same here.
D. Harvey.
I have 2 pastors, I'm sorry.
Our one of the ministry heads, Herman, I can't think of Herman's last name. Or Herman's last name. Anyway, he was one of the ministry leads over the baptismal committee. So he was telling me how, since I was baptized when I was 9, and now I've become an adult and I can make my own decision. I understand more that I should be re-baptized. So this was like in 2009. So as an adult in 2009, I was re-baptized. And let me tell you, that is an awesome thing.
Okay.
That is an awesome
But you
thing.
didn't know, did you know what you were doing at 9?
Not really.
See,
I mean, I
knew
knew
what
what I was doing, but I didn't know what it meant.
Okay, so
you know what
that's
I mean?
different.
And of course, it came later,
Right.
you know, with the learning, you know, because I was, like I said, had been in church, but yeah. So I was
That's
re-baptized
interesting.
throughout 2009.
Because, wow, that's interesting. Because I was baptized at 12, but I made that decision
Okay.
and I knew what I was doing. That's interesting. That it was
Yeah.
better when you got rebaptized. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It was awesome. So yes, I did. Got re-baptized and.
Wow.
And right now to this day, it touches me. It does something to me when somebody is
I
baptized.
got a question for you.
Yes.
This is your radio station. How important it is to have a relationship with God through Jesus.
Let me tell you something. For me, I don't know how anyone does it. I don't know how they live without one. I cannot. I cannot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and for me, it's just certain things personally that God showed up for me when I needed Him. And if that did not happen, then I don't know where I would be. You understand what I'm saying?
That one.
So I don't.
Touch and agree.
For me, it keeps me sane.
Yes.
You hear me? And it keeps me grounded.
Yes.
And my relationship with God has involved me to be the person, the woman, the mother, the one day wife that I will be. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because when He talks to me, you know, it's like, okay, Rhonda, I need you to do this, and this, right? And not this, that, and that. Because, you know, we be wanting to do all things.
Yeah.
You hear me?
And he just laughed.
Right.
We serve a humorous
Oh, you
God.
made plans? That ain't what I have planned for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Go do you.
You hear me?
See what happens.
So even
Close
when we
that door.
talked about change, right? I know He's getting ready to change my signature talk for my speaking. My signature right now is signature talk is change your mind, change your life. Okay? And when I do anything that I do, I always reference God. You hear me? But He's telling me it ain't enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yes.
You hear me?
Because, you know, one thing I love about God, He knows what we have in us. And He knows that we sometimes don't give Him our all because He knows what we are doing.
You hear
So
me?
I am guilty too.
Yes, absolutely. He's like, yeah, you patty caking with this thing. You hear me? He's like, time out.
Yes.
Enough.
Yes.
It's time for you to do what I called you to do.
So for those who don't understand how to have a relationship with God, they think that you have to go tarry on the bench and speak in tongues and read so many different scriptures, know God, get yourself right. The number one excuse is, I need to get myself right.
What is
What would you-
right?
What would you tell them?
I would tell them, like I just said, what is right? And right for who?
I don't know. I'll get myself
You
right.
understand what I'm saying? Right for who?
That was my biggest hindrance.
You know what I'm saying? You will never be right. You want to be better.
But you can't get yourself better without Him.
And you cannot. You cannot. You know what I'm saying? It's a daily progression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no different than having to wean yourself off of something.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? So you're going to wean yourself off of the sin.
Yes.
Just like you said, you're going to sin less,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that you can grow more into your relationship with God.
Yep.
You hear me?
Amen.
Did I say that?
You said it, girl.
I said that. I said that thing.
please.
You know what I said that thing. But it's the honest to God
Yes.
truth. There is no getting right. You're not going to be perfect. And what people have to be, and what people are mindful of, because you have somebody's always watching you.
Yes.
They want to watch you. They will wait for you to fall on your face.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have other people waiting for you to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're waiting for you to get to a certain level so they can meet you there.
To
You hear
use
me?
you.
Because they already there. Exactly.
To use
To use you. Correct.
Use you.
So who you gonna bet?
Yes.
Right? Because I'm not betting anyone that's waiting for Rhonda to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I promise you, I'm getting back up.
Boom.
I'm getting back
Yes.
up.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But again,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I can't do that without him. And you want to talk about being right. Let me tell you something. Like I said, there is no to right, get right, be right. You can be righter, yes,
But you cannot be right.
right. You can't.
You have to go to the Lord to get right.
Exactly,
Satan is not right.
girl. No.
So that is what Satan uses so that we don't come to God.
Yes, he plays with your mind.
Yes.
So change your mind, change your life.
Yes.
Change your mind about how you think about your relationship with God. Because understand it's your relationship.
Yeah.
It's not Kim's relationship. It's not mine.
No.
It's not anybody else's. And yes, somebody's going to be watching you. Well, I saw you such and such and such and such, right?
I have not arrived.
Hmm.
Sorry. You saw this in.
Okay.
But God forgave me.
I'm going to give you a perfect instance. I'm going to tell this story.
Tell the story, girl.
I went to Aldi's. That's my weekly thing. I go to Aldi's on either Thursday, Friday to go grocery shop.
Okay.
So this particular Aldi's, now I knew I was going to Aldi's, so why I did not have a quarter, I don't know. You need a quarter when you go to Aldi's for the basket.
We forget. We're not perfect.
Thought about it, no sooner than I pulled up on the lot, that I didn't have a quarter. And I was like, normally people are good about giving away the cards when they give them back, right?
Not today, huh?
So I saw this young man giving his card back, and I said, are you taking the card back? And he's like, yes, ma'am. And I said, well, can I have it? I don't have a quarter. And he's like, yes, ma'am. So he brought the card over to me. Now I'm on the phone. Matter of fact, I think I was talking to Felicia. I'm on the phone talking, and I go into Aldi's, and he comes in behind. At first, I can hear this commotion outside. Right?
For a quarter?
So he comes behind me and says, ma'am, do you have a card? I said, I don't. I said, are you getting cussed out about the card? And he said, yes, ma'am. I said, well, baby, take the card so you can take it back to get the quarter. So, because I don't want you to get cussed up. You know what I'm saying? That was ridiculous. So, hold, press mine. So I was going grocery shopping, so I needed a card. So I was like, I need to go to Home Depot. Because I just go to Home Depot, get what I need to get some change back.
No cashier give you one.
But I didn't have any cash. You know what I'm saying?
They'll give you a card.
I found that out later.
Yeah.
So I go
times.
out to the car.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this woman is still cussing?
Oh,
and at this point, I think she's talking to me.
Wow.
I say, Lord.
Did Peter come out?
God say, Vonda, don't turn around.
Did you want to cut out the ear?
Girl, don't turn around. Because Kim, how I turn around, it might not have been ugly. And the last thing I need is somebody have video of me.
That's
On
right.
all these parking lot talking about that cuss some lady out about a quarter.
But you're speaking in tongues. You're speaking in tongues at the wrong side.
But I was floored. I could not. I said, you're talking about one quarter.
And I bet that person is so hard. That person's heart is so hard.
But you know what I did? You know I got in the car. I had to pray for her, right? I said, Lord, God bless her. Whatever she missing.
Her blessing.
Yes. Let's.
I get the car, but it's just a quarter. What can I do with a quarter? It's only 25 cents.
But I told the story to say, okay, I'm a little bit more right but baby, I wanted to tell her something.
It's because the Spirit of the Lord is in you.
Girl.
Because He will convict you. That's what's right, not you. The Spirit of the Lord is filled with conviction. Because I'm telling you, I be wanting to curse people out.
I was mad though. I had text
it's okay.
Derek, and I texted him what happened. He said, just let it go.
Let it
go.
But it's okay to be angry. Just don't allow that to become your wrath.
No, it wasn't. By the time I got to Home Depot, I came back, I was good. I was good.
But
That was a mess.
Jesus-
That poor child.
Jesus got upset when people was using the church as a marketplace.
Yes, he was. He turned the tables over quick.
You were
Sure
just
did.
you were just turning over the table that day.
You got that right. I was like, what is happening?
You were just turning the table.
Oh,
Girl, please. Girl. I'd be like, God, you know you got to keep me every day because I got a temper.
That's what I said about me.
Self-control is so important.
It is
And
important.
patience.
And patience. Did you know God is giving me patience?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes. It's a growing grace for me as well. But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
But my patience was terrible. And I would say that.
Were you the one that needs to fix everything?
Yes. And right now. And right now. You hear me? Right now. I'm no way, Grace, right now.
I'm shaking my head with you because I
Yes.
fix things and I make them worse than they should be. Because God, this is one thing about God. He uses that passion that we have when it comes to try to be a fixer into his kingdom. So now we can go and tell people about the Lord, how he can fix your life. So it's all good.
Yeah.
He uses our weakness for our flaws for his glorification.
Yes. And see, I think that's what he's getting me to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
To line that up for his glory.
Yes.
Which I can appreciate. I can appreciate it.
Because if you remember Peter, right?
Mhm.
He was passionate.
Mm-hmm.
He doubted Jesus. But when they went to start the church, he was on fire. Could nothing stop him because he had that power in him.
That's all right.
That power of the Holy Ghost. See, that's what happens.
And I think once we stop being afraid of the power.
That used to be afraid. It was a fear of me because
Yeah.
I didn't know what it felt like. But it's really gentle. No, it will correct you because you want to be corrected by your Father who loves you.
The
But
conviction.
it's hard to describe the relationship. It really is. Because I'm like, it's like a presence that is hard to explain in tongues because it's unexplainable how someone can love me like that and I feel his presence. It's hard. So that relationship is just important.
And when I tell you that he has been answering prayer after prayer for me, that is a beautiful thing. You understand?
Yes.
For me, it means that I'm closer to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm in his spirit, if you will. You know what I mean?
He
In
knows
his
your
will.
name.
Girl, know my name. Say my name. Name, Lord. So yeah. So with the I is for involvement. So yeah, I do. I feel more involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been doing my my daily devotions, whether I'm doing a video or reading or you understand what I'm saying? And me and Ramon, where you met Ramon, we have awesome conversations all the time. I wish he was here to tell the story that he had about the angels that he was telling me about and how he put together some
dreams.
Huh?
He had more dreams than something.
This was not a dream. It's because he's always YouTubing and reading and researching and trying to learn more. And some things that he put together about the angels, of course, them being giants and some of them and all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to have him back on so he can tell that story because I might jack it up and I don't want to mess it up.
You have an amazing son.
Thank you. That's my baby. He can be something else too, but that's still my baby. That's still my baby. He's a teen, Lord. He's a teen. God gave me a son. Jesus. Yes. But he is a blessing to have. I would say that. So now the S is for salvation, which we kind of talked about a little bit. What does salvation mean to you, Ms. Kimmy?
It's a gift.
It is a gift.
Why he give that to me? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm jacked up. But I appreciate you, God, sending your only begotten son so that he can be the portrayal, the mediator for my sin, because he took on my sin and he was sinless.
Yes.
That story.
And he didn't have to do it.
He could have stepped down from the cross if he wanted to.
At any time.
But he was submissive to his father.
Mm-hmm.
He had the same power as God is. So God is demonstrating to us the importance of submission to others, because you may know a lot more than some things to people who are over you, and you may have the same power, but you must be willing to submit to God and others, your family, your pastor, your wife, your husband. You have to submit. That's the only way submission in the Lord will work, because that's being unified. That's unity.
Right.
Yes. Salvation is amazing.
And let's note that, and we talked about forgiveness earlier, that God was talking about forgiveness while he was laying on the cross. Can we just put that note in there?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to put that note in there.
Thank you.
Yes, it did.
Forgiveness. I know. And guess what? It's for today's sins, yesterday's sins, and tomorrow.
Yes.
Because we are not saying that. So those Pharisees out there, stop saying that if you sin, you're going to hell. You're going to hell for life, because you sin too. I went to a couple of churches that say that they can live without sin. I said, the devil is a lie.
They can live without sin?
I said, the devil is a lie.
Girl.
The devil is a liar. It says in 1 John chapter 4. 1 John chapter 4. You'll find that, or maybe chapter 1. It will say that he without sin is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So you cannot say you can live a sinless life. I cannot live a sinless life in 5 seconds. My
Girl.
God.
Exactly.
Girl, shoot.
They are in a fantasy world. God bless them. They're living in
But
space.
I pray for them. I do pray.
Absolutely. You have to. Poor things. They're delusional.
How do you live a sinless life without God? Now we can live a sinless life, but we're sinless, but we're not living a sinless lifestyle.
Correct.
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
We all fall. So with that being said, salvation is so important to me, because it tells me that I can't earn it. It's a gift. I can't work for it. I can't love the pastor to get more of it. I can't love the bishop to get more of it. I got to love on Jesus and his people.
Absolutely.
And others, even your enemies.
And understand that salvation is an individual thing. I cannot live off my grandma's.
Nope.
Now, we appreciate the praying grandmas.
Yes.
We need those.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you for the praying grandmas.
I know she was praying for me.
Yeah. Girl. Thank you for that.
Thank you for praying.
But you cannot live off someone else's salvation. You have to have it for yourself. You do. You do. Now, you know what? On the topic of salvation, when I was in my 20s, I can't remember exactly how old I was. I had a cousin who was found murdered. And my spirit, even at that young age, grieved for him so badly, Kim, because he just wasn't raised up in the word. You understand what I'm saying? And I did not know what that meant for his soul. You know what I mean? I grieved for him for a very long time, because I didn't know where he ended up. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's a different thing when you're not brought up knowing.
And the sad thing about that is that God is not going to allow that to be an excuse, because he says, you see the birds, you see the trees. And that's why I'm so passionate about the unsaved, because it's not going to be an excuse for them. And I just don't want them to see that tribulation. I want them to be caught up in the sky when Jesus comes. I want to be part of this tribulation.
Right.
For 5,000 of gnashing teeth and all that stuff and the wrath of God. It hurts me when I see young people who don't know God.
Right. Now, the only thing that I could say is you don't necessarily know that somebody doesn't know.
We don't.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't.
You can only
Assume.
assume
That's between
whatever.
God.
Right, exactly. Because they didn't have to be in the church to give their life to God.
You don't need to go to church to be saved.
You do not need to go to church to be saved.
You don't need to speak in tongues to be saved.
You do not need to speak in tongues to be saved.
You don't need
But
to
it's good to help.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
Yes.
But we all got gifts.
Yes,
Speaking
we
in
do.
tongues as a gift is not, what some religion. It's more so speaking encouragement, being kind, encouraging people. Now, speaking in tongues, the other way is between you and God. That's not for us. That's for you and God.
Correct.
And you need an interpreter.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
with that
you do.
being said, that is between you and God.
Yes.
That is not for me to know what that is about.
Absolutely.
So, keep going.
Let's keep going.
Because I'm gonna be honest, because a lot of people get that confused, and then they feel so sad that they're not speaking in tongues, and so they feel unsafe. And I still feel a lot of young people who are under that type of teaching is, not coming to church because of that. They don't speak in tongues.
Mm.
So I guess since I'm not speaking in tongues, I'm not saved, and God doesn't love me, and that is false teaching.
Okay.
And that's why I'm passionate about that, because it bothers me to see that
Mhm.
people force you to speak in tongues.
Now, I'm a speaking tongue.
That's good.
You know what I'm
Our
saying?
best friend, she speaks in tongues.
Yeah.
I don't. I speak in kindness, though, encouragement.
There you go.
But between me and God, I pray. He knows my heart.
And he knows your prayers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And he answers them.
Yes.
Sometimes yes, no, a lot of no's. I mean, you're like, girl, what you talking about? No. Lots of no's.
You a mess. All right, so we on our last acronym was T for test. Test. T-E-S-T. And a lot of people, like we were saying off air, don't believe that God will test you.
That's
Okay.
dope.
And we were talking about that the other day. He always said, what's the man's name?
That's
Who
Job.
God let the devil do all that stuff to him when trying to see if you still gonna believe God? It was Job, baby. That's what he said. What's the man's name? It was Job. And you're right. So there's nothing new under the sun.
Mm-mm.
So if God will allow Job to be tested, certainly he allows us to be tested.
And what it says in James, he said, counting our joy when we fall into diverse temptation. Now that temptation in that text means test.
Okay.
It's not temptation based on negativity. It's test. So he does. And it's a blessing because he trusts you with that test.
Yes. See how you're going to come out. And you know what? And I guess I was trying to think of an example of a test that I have, but right now it's not coming to the top of my head. But when you get through one, it makes you stronger. It's a building of your faith.
Yes.
Right? Because first of all, when we stop believing that we can do everything, you hear me?
I can't do
and
nothing.
that God is the one who handles it all for you.
He does it all for me.
Right. So when you stop relying on yourself and learn to rely on Him, you hear me? It really strengthens your faith. Because I tell you, what I'm waiting for is that thing that's going to happen in my life that everybody will know. Yeah, that was God.
That was God.
Because it could not have been Rhonda. She don't have that kind of reach. You hear me?
That's God. But when God gives you a vision, it's too big for you. If your vision is so small that you can do it, that's not from God.
Tell me about it.
God gives you vision. Look
Yes.
what he gave Job. Look what he did for Jacob. Now he called Israel. Look at Abraham. Look at Jesus. Look at Paul, who he uses to write most of the Second Testament, who crucified Christians. Look at Peter, the doubter, who started the church. He uses people like me. So I want to be used. He used those people that are overlooked by the world. We the last. He said the last would be first, and the first would be last. Oh, so I'd rather be last. I don't want to be first because I don't want to go to hell.
It reminds me, you talk about that, of course, I'm reminded of David.
Yes. And I have a lot of David in me too.
Yeah, David was something else.
I'm sorry, God.
God still used him.
What me? I got David, Peter, Paul, and still Proverbs 31:10.
I heard that.
But the thing is, what I like about God,
What?
he said David was after his heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He screwed up.
Over and over. And over.
So that's why I love about
And see,
the word.
right, and that goes back to the right. Now, how unright was David?
All I
And
can
God
say,
still used him
all I can say is
over and over.
that's nothing but God.
Tell me about it. Absolutely, right?
I mean, all I can say is my, and that's why, you just brought up a valid point. That's why it's important for us to be responsible for our own salvation, because you're not supposed to be finger pointing at Rhonda's salvation when she falls. we are called to pray when they fall.
Yes.
And not, I thought she was a Christian. I knew she was
Girl.
So my point is, we all gonna fall at some time.
At some time or another. Yes, absolutely.
Jesus is the only one that never.
Have you ever read This Present Darkness?
Mm-mm.
Kim, my book is probably in storage somewhere buried. You have got to read
Yes, about.
This Present Darkness about intercessory prayer.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Now, I have to warn you, it starts off slow
Okay.
with the first 60 pages or something. If you have not read This Present Darkness, and I can't remember who it's written by. I think it's written by one of the authors of Purpose Driven Life.
Okay. I do like purpose driven. I read that once a year
Yes.
to refresh myself.
The book is awesome, talking about intercessory prayer. It's going to take you, first of all, if you're not a person who prays for others or stand in the gaps for others, you will after you read this book. Because it's going to explain to you the power.
I know there's power though.
The power.
Because that war room got me.
I love that movie.
The power of praying for situations.
Yes.
How you can overcome any situation with prayer.
Yes.
That's power.
It is
There's power.
It is power.
And prayer is not based on how you do it. It's
Mhm.
based on how you talk to your dad. You know how people say, I don't know how to pray. Talk to your daddy as if you were talking to your
Every person. Anybody. Correct. People think you have to have these long, drawn out prayer with these long words and definitions and all that kind of stuff. You don't. When I'm talking to God, sometimes I'll be like, look at here, Lord.
I need your help. I'm like,
what
David.
is going on?
Sometimes I'll be like, God, you better get them, my haters.
Yes. Have to do that too.
Shoot.
Have to do that too.
But the thing is, it also said in Matthew that when you have those people that just linger on and on and on and on in prayer, they don't know me. It says that.
Really?
It says that in prayer. If you go to the model where it talks before, it gives you the model of our Father who art in heaven.
Mhm.
Jesus talks about that. So it's not based on your length. It's based
Okay.
on the heart. Like you said.
It's a hard thing. It's definitely a hard
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
All right. That was good. That was
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kim, for
Thank
coming
you.
in at the last minute.
I love radio. I love talking about the word.
So tell us what's going on with Elation before you go, because we're wrapping up. What's going on?
Well, Nation, we're now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can listen to
I got
hip
you on
hop,
my phone, your podcast.
hip hop. So young folks, Christian rap is really, I'm telling you, I never thought it would be possible to find real hip hop that you can really bob your head to,
Yeah.
like a Tupac.
Okay.
There's so much talent out there now,
Okay.
from poetry to, I still like old school though.
Mhm.
So I got all genres, type of music and sermons, and please support us. Share the podcast with others, and on November the 16th through 18th, I want to give a shout out to C.H.R.I.S.T for taking the lead, because I was going to put this off to next year, because I was like, God, even though this is on my list, I can't do this Elation Honors. It's too much. So God had Michelle Wright to take the lead. That's God. It's too big for me. I can't do all
There
this,
you Now, that's the same weekend as the thing, though, right? It's November 9th to 11, right?
No, 16th through the 19th.
Oh, good.
You know, okay, so we may have to add you to the program.
Yeah.
Michelle Wright, she add you to the program. So basically, we're honoring a pastor, a artist, and a organization. We're honoring them. It's not an award show. There's a difference. I don't believe in competition, but I believe in honoring those who do, the work. And everybody does, but and then we want to honor the family of Elation and just have a good time. Church folks, church folks, like body believers in Christ, not the building. We do have fun.
That's good.
And we're going to dress up for the Lord and have fun and just love one another.
All right. So when are ticket sales going on?
The ticket sales is amazing. Okay, you cannot get this, but I want to direct you to Michelle Wright. She is the lead on this. I thank her for taking this lead, but she has more information. I don't want to talk about the prices because we're still in the making of making a negotiation, but you can reach Michelle Wright on Facebook, and it's going to be a glorious time. I mean, we're going to have workshops on Friday and Saturday for 2 days. It also includes a dinner. The tickets includes all the gala, lunch is included.
Okay.
So it's very affordable. Because
Okay.
I don't believe in making money off of profit in ministry. I just want people just to get the word, because you can only profit really from the word.
Okay.
Money cannot profit you, but the word make you rich.
All
So
right.
we're gonna have so many wonderful speakers, and it's gonna be a glorious time. So this is every year. So this is our first Elation Honors. It's gonna be held at Drury Inn in Brentwood,
Okay.
right across the street from the Galleria. So if you're coming from out of town, you got shopping, you got good area of restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants is over there, and we're gonna have a great time. And Elation Magazine is still going. That's my baby, and Rhonda writes for us. She has some articles on there as well, and she is an awesome writer. Please support her books and everything. But elation is just, it's the meaning of joy. And when you have this joy of the Lord, I'm still trying to figure out why God used me for this. He gave me this purpose back in '94, but it was about me. I wasn't into the church thing. I was like, God, I want to do a church thing. '94, I was in Atlanta. He gave me the magazine. I did in '94.
Okay.
I didn't start to 2010.
Okay.
Researching.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, when God wants you to do something,
yes,
He'll figure it out.
Uh-huh.
He said, all right, do your
keep
thing.
it right on you.
She thinks she's getting away. She
Right.
had no idea. I heard destination in my mind. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying, family. When God has something for you to do, like my sister said, He'll figure it out. Well, He don't have to figure anything, but He'll make you do what He wants you to do.
All right.
Yes.
While you figure it out, right? Because He didn't already figure it
Right.
out.
He already know. He knows all knowing. So basically, we're just gonna have a good old time, and it's not about love, just spreading the love.
Awesomeness.
Yes.
So we did the acronym today of Christ. So the C was for change, H was for hindrances, R was relationship, I was for involvement, S was salvation, and T was test. This has been Change Radio with Rhonda, my special guest, Miss Kim, Kimmy Robinson of Elation Radio. I thank you all for joining us on YouTube, Facebook, Elation. I didn't do Instagram today, so I'll share the YouTube video to Instagram. But thank you all for joining us, and I will see you at the top.
Yes, with the Lord.
With the Lord.
Because I don't want to go to the top without the Lord not there. That'd be the fun.
right. You
I'm goofy.
You are.
Be blessed. I love the Lord. He's just so amazing. Love you guys. You're amazing.
Thank you. That was fun.
I always have fun with you guys. That's why